Okay, let's paint a picture, one that's probably playing out right now, somewhere. Imagine an employee, totally well-meaning, just trying to get a project done faster.
Hmm.
They grab some draft text, maybe it has internal notes, some URLs, maybe even sensitive API keys embedded right in there.
Right, happens all the time.
And they paste it into a public AI tool like ChatGPT, just to polish the wording.
Makes sense from their perspective. Quick efficiency boost.
But then maybe a few weeks later, those exact credentials, they pop up for sale on the dark web.
Oof, yeah.
Someone buys them, bypasses authentication, and suddenly, bam, internal systems are wide open. It's pretty chilling.
It really is. And that scenario, it perfectly highlights how these three massive, often sort of underestimated challenges are converging, which are, if we're talking secret sprawl, non-human identity management, and this growing, almost silent threat of shadow AI.
Shadow AI. Okay.
Yeah, and they're not separate problems anymore. They're tangled together, creating this incredibly complex web of risk. You mishandle one piece.
And the whole thing can unravel.
Exactly. Data security, operations, even compliance, it can have a catastrophic ripple effect. So our deep dive today, it's really about untangling that maze for you.
Right. Our mission here is to equip you with the insights to really grasp these concepts, see how they feed into each other, and crucially, identify practical steps you can take to protect your digital assets. It feels like just keeping up isn't enough anymore.
You really have to get ahead of the curve. And as we dive into this complex territory, we definitely want to thank our sponsor, www.cisomarketplace.services.
Absolutely. Thanks to www.cisomarketplace.services for supporting this important discussion.
So let's start at the foundation.
Secrets. We hear that term a lot. API keys, passwords, tokens.
Exactly. They're the keys to your digital kingdom, essentially. Sensitive authentication credentials.
But the problem isn't just that they're sensitive, it's where they end up, right? The secret sprawl.
Precisely. That's the core issue. These keys aren't locked away neatly. They're everywhere.
Embedded in source code.
In code, in configuration files, scattered across CI/CD pipelines. Our sources point out something quite stark. If the developer environment is where sprawl starts, then CI/CD systems, think GitHub Actions, Jenkins, they become secret sprawl factories, just churning them out assembly line style.
Wow, secret sprawl factories.
Yeah.
That paints a picture. And this uncontrolled spread, it must create huge blind spots, especially with older management methods.
It really does. Many organizations, they still rely heavily on static secrets.
The long-lived ones, manually rotated, if they get rotated at all.
Right, which feels almost ancient compared to dynamic secrets.
Which are?
Dynamic secrets are the modern approach.
Yeah.
Automatically generated, very short-lived, frequently rotated. It drastically shrinks the window of opportunity if one gets compromised.
But adoption isn't universal yet.
Far from it.
Yeah.
And here's a common critical mistake. Even when organizations try to remediate, they might change a secret.
Okay.
But forget to update every single system that depends on it.
Ah, so you change one lock, but leave 3 other doors unlocked using the old key.
Exactly. It's not just one vulnerability. It's a hidden web of them.
Ew.
And without total visibility from creation to use to revocation, you just can't grasp your actual security posture. You can't detect breaches effectively.
It's like trying to secure a house you can only see part of.
Precisely. And that leads us to a maybe even bigger question. Who, or increasingly, what, is using all these secrets?
Okay, you mentioned non-human identities earlier, that unseen explosion.
Yes. We're talking about the digital identities for machines, applications, microservices, IoT devices, and now, critically, AI agents.
Not humans logging in.
Nope. They use things like cryptographic keys, digital certificates, access tokens for authentication, not passwords or fingerprints.
Just the scale you mentioned.
It's staggering. Our sources say in a typical organization, machine identities now outnumber human ones by 45 to 1.
45 to 1. That's almost unbelievable. A hidden digital army.
It is. And managing them is a completely different beast than managing human users.
How so? What makes it so challenging?
Well, for starters, they're decentralized, often created by developers on the fly, not by a central IT or security team.
So tracking is difficult.
Incredibly difficult. Plus, they vastly outnumber humans, as we said. And here's the crucial link. These non-human identities, or NHIs, they primarily use secrets to get access.
Making them, and the secrets they hold, prime targets.
Absolutely. Compromise those secrets, and attackers get direct, often unfettered, access to critical systems. Then there's the issue of over-provisioning.
Giving them way more access than they actually need.
Exactly. either intentionally for convenience or just by oversight, leading to huge potential risk. And this isn't just theory. One source, Ambit citing GitGuardian, found something sobering.
What's that?
70% of secrets discovered back in 2022 were still valid in 2024.
Wow. So these aren't just potential risks, they're active, gaping vulnerabilities just waiting.
Waiting to be exploited. It really underscores the need for better solutions.
And finding those solutions is critical. We appreciate our sponsor, www.cisomarketplace.services, for being a resource where businesses can find help navigating these complex security challenges and protecting those growing digital footprints.
Definitely a needed resource.
Okay, so we have secrets scattered everywhere and this explosion of non-human identities using them, just as we're trying to wrap our heads around that.
Along comes another layer.
Shadow AI. This brings us back to that opening story, doesn't it?
It really does. Shadow AI is basically the unauthorized use of AI tools by employees. They're operating outside the company's official IT governance, outside any oversight.
Using things like public ChatGPT, maybe DALL-E for images, open source models.
Exactly. Often with good intentions, just trying to be more productive, but it's happening in the dark from IT's perspective.
And it's widespread.
Oh, absolutely. One source we looked at, Dashlane, estimates a staggering 90% of AI use in businesses happens through unauthorized personal accounts.
90%. That's not the exception, that's the norm.
Pretty much. And this hidden usage creates direct pathways to breaches. We talked about the Jane Doe pasting sensitive data, including credentials, into a public tool.
Right, and that data gets logged, maybe even indexed.
Potentially retrievable or ending up for sale. But there are other ways shadow AI causes problems.
Such as?
Well, think about data scientists. Maybe they train a custom model on sensitive, proprietary company data without proper oversight. Or they use external data sets that turn out to be biased.
Leading to skewed results, bad decisions, maybe even reputational damage.
Exactly. Or developers integrating third-party AI APIs without fully vetting them. Those APIs could have unknown vulnerabilities.
So it's accidental leaks, but also insecure AI components being brought in under the radar. We saw that Grok API key leak, right? That gave access to unreleased AI models.
A perfect real-world example. A static secret, likely related to development or testing, ending up exposed in an AI context with major potential impact.
This really shifts how we need to think about exposure. It's not just employees breaking rules.
No, it's a fundamental change in how sensitive data and access points get exposed. And crucially, it loops right back to non-human identities.
How so?
AI agents themselves. They represent a whole new class of non-human identity.
Ah.
Okay? Think about it. An AI agent might need broad API access across tons of different systems simultaneously. LLM providers, internal enterprise APIs, cloud services, data stores.
That sounds way more complex than a typical application's access needs.
It is. It massively complicates traditional identity management because these agents don't fit neatly into existing frameworks. They need privileged access potentially everywhere.
Okay. Given that, maybe 90% of usage is this shattered kind and employees are just trying to get work done, is the risk really that catastrophic for a company that already has decent security basics in place, or are we maybe overblowing the shadow AI threat?
No, I really don't think it's overblown. It's absolutely a systemic threat, and the potential consequences are, well, severe.
Like what, specifically?
First, major data exposure. We touched on it, but any sensitive info, uploaded proprietary code, customer data, financial plans, could be retained by the AI provider, maybe used for training future models. It becomes vulnerable.
And breaches involving this kind of shattered data are costly.
Very. One report put the average cost at $5.27 million, and they take about 20% longer to contain than other breaches.
Wow. Okay, what else?
Misinformation and bias. We've all heard about AI hallucinations, right? Models making things up.
Yeah, like those lawyers citing fake cases generated by ChatGPT.
Exactly that kind of thing. If users act on faulty or biased AI output without fact-checking, it can lead to serious financial or reputational damage. And then there's compliance.
How does shadow AI impact that?
Well, this usage is happening outside normal auditing and monitoring, so you risk non-compliance with regulations like GDPR or potentially new AI-specific data protection laws that are emerging.
It completely bypasses the checks and balances.
Totally. As one source put it really well, AI security problem isn't AI, it's everything around it. It's the old outdated access models and the lack of governance that are the real weak points here.
Understanding these evolving threats is clearly vital. And finding ways to shore up defenses is where resources like our sponsor, www.cisomarketplace.services, become so valuable.
Absolutely critical in this landscape.
So the picture is pretty clear. Secrets, sprawl, this explosion of non-human identities, and now shadow AI. They're interconnected, they're complex, they're frankly a bit intimidating.
It can feel overwhelming, definitely.
So what can organizations actually do? How do you start mitigating these combined risks and, build towards a more secure future?
Okay, the first big mind shift, especially regarding shadow AI, is moving away from just trying to ban it.
Because that doesn't really work.
It's generally a losing battle. People will find ways. The more effective approach is to shift from prohibition to guided innovation.
Guided innovation, I like that. So harness the benefits while managing the risks.
Exactly. Empower people, but with guardrails.
Okay, so how do you start? If it's shadow AI, how do you even know what's happening?
You start by trying to bring it out of the shadows.
Yeah.
Use anonymous surveys. Ask employees honestly how they're already using AI tools.
Not to punish, but just to understand the baseline reality.
Precisely. Then, lean hard into education. Things like prompt engineering training, AI literacy, teaching people how to use these tools safely and effectively. One study showed this can lead to a 63% drop in risky AI behaviors.
That's a huge impact just from education. But you still need technical controls, right?
Absolutely. Education alone isn't enough. You need AI sandboxes.
Secure environments for testing.
Yes, safe, isolated spaces where teams can experiment with new AI tools without putting sensitive company data at risk.
Makes sense. What about the data itself?
Clear data classification is key. Everyone needs to understand exactly what kind of data is absolutely off limits for external AI tools, no ambiguity.
And then maybe guide them towards approved tools.
That's the guided freedom part. Whitelist specific, vetted tools for particular tasks. Give employees options, but safe ones. And finally, use technology for detection.
Monitoring network traffic for unauthorized AI usage.
Yeah, shadow AI detection tools. Again, the goal isn't punishment. It's visibility, guidance, and improving your policies based on what you see happening. And critically, bake AI governance into your DevSecOps pipeline.
Meaning?
Implementing shift-left principles. Things like validating datasets for bias, testing models early, adding AI-specific checks in your CI/CD process for performance, compliance, security. You build it in from the start.
That proactive shift-left approach seems essential. And presumably, all these AI governance strategies have to tie directly back to managing secrets and those non-human identities.
They absolutely must. It has to be holistic. You can't secure AI if your secrets management is leaky or your NHIs are running wild.
Okay, so let's talk best practices there. Secrets management.
Centralize. Use a dedicated secrets management platform, a vault.
Like HashiCorp Vault or similar tools?
Exactly. These tools securely store secrets, enforce access control, handle rotation, expiration, and provide crucial audit trails. A huge benefit is that many secrets can be revoked or rotated centrally without having to touch the application code itself.
That simplifies things massively and prioritize dynamic secrets.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Short-lived, automatically rotated credentials. Minimize that window of exposure. Think about encryption as a service, too.
Offloading crypto operations to the secrets manager.
Yes, and centralizing key management. Maybe even automating your own internal certificate authority for PKI. And underpinning all of this, auditing and observability.
Knowing who has access to what, when, tracing the entire life cycle.
Full visibility.
Yeah.
Hooking real-time data into your monitoring tools so you can spot anomalies fast.
Okay, that covers secrets. What about that army of non-human identities, the 45-to-1 crowd?
Similar principles apply. Start with a centralized inventory. You need to know what NHIs you have, what they do, how they're used.
Discoverability is key.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then enforce consistent policies across all of them. Implement robust lifecycle management creation, renewal, rotation, revocation, especially for things like certificates and keys.
And how they authenticate with each other.
That's critical. Implement strong machine-to-machine authentication. Think zero-trust principles, continuous verification. Use robust protocols like OAuth, MTLS, token-based auth for API security. Don't just trust because it's inside the network.
Verify, always verify, and monitor their behavior.
Constantly. Actively monitor NHI activity. Analyze patterns. Look for anomalies that might indicate malicious activity. Early detection is vital.
This sounds like it requires intense collaboration. Security can't do this alone, right? Development, DevOps, identity teams.
That's the absolute linchpin. None of these strategies work in a silo. Effective remediation, effective prevention. It demands strong, ongoing collaboration between security, development, DevOps, IAM admins, platform teams, everyone.
Because each team sees a different piece of the puzzle?
Exactly. They face unique challenges, but they all contribute to the overall security posture, especially as AI continues to integrate deeper into everything we do. It's got to be a team effort.
And for finding specific tools and services to help implement these measures, our sponsor, www.cisomarketplace.services, is a great place to look.
A very useful resource for sure.
Wow. Okay, that was quite the deep dive. It's so clear that the digital world we're building is just incredibly powerful, but also brings this escalating level of complexity.
It really
The
does.
lines are blurring, aren't they, between human users, machines, AI agents, and securing it all demands a whole new level of responsibility.
Indeed. We've walked through how just one leaked secret, one poorly managed non-human identity, or one employee using an unapproved AI tool can cascade into a really significant breach.
The key takeaway for me, and hopefully for you listening, is that these aren't separate problems to tackle one by one.
Exactly. They're interconnected parts of a single security ecosystem. It demands constant vigilance, a proactive mindset, and importantly, an integrated strategy.
So the challenge for you, listening now, isn't just keeping pace, it's actually getting ahead. By really understanding these concepts, secret sprawl, NHIs, shadow AI, and applying these best practices we've discussed.
You're not just reacting to problems. You're building a fundamentally more resilient, more trustworthy digital foundation for whatever comes next.
Which leads to maybe a final thought to leave you with.
Go on.
As you reflect on this, consider what hidden AI agents might be quietly working in your systems right now? What forgotten secrets are lurking in old config files? What unmanaged machine identities have access you don't even know about? What's waiting in your digital ecosystem for a spotlight?
That's a powerful question to ponder.
We really hope this deep dive into secret sprawl, non-human identity management, and the rise of shadow AI has given you some valuable insights to think about and hopefully explore further in your own context.
And a huge thank you once again to our sponsor, www.cisomarketplace.services, for making these important conversations possible. We really appreciate their support.
Absolutely. Thank you to them, and thank you for tuning in. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay secure.